Hi friends, my name is Bhavya Mangla. I'm IATF qualified auditor doing audit for the automotive sector for the last 19 years. I'm again back with a very interesting topic, and today I'm going to talk about the relationship of ISO 9000 2015, ISO TS 9002 2016 and ISO 9004 2018 with ISO 9001 2015 version. And by the time this video will end, you will understand what exactly is all these standards, how they are interrelated with ISO 9001 and how the organizations can take benefit of all these standards. In family, we talk about the head of the family. But head of the family is not alone. There are many people in the family. It could be uncle, aunt, brother, sister. They all combine together to make a complete family. Something similar happens, maybe a tree. So if you see the stem, so it's one big stem which is there. But then apart from that, there are flowers are there, leaves are there, branches are there. They all combine to make a complete tree. Something similar happens with ISO 9000 series also. Many times it happens that organizations only think that ISO 9001 2015 version is the only standard and they need to understand only that. But they fail to understand that there are many standards which are related with it. And they all combine together to help to implement or to understand this standard more effectively. Broadly, there are three key standards who are directly related with ISO 9001 2015. The first one is ISO 9000 2015. ISO 9000 2015 is talking about the terminologies and about the fundamentals with respect to ISO 9000 series. When we talk about ISO TS 9002 2016, which majority of the people are not aware about, it's talking about the interpretation, that how we can understand the guidelines with respect to ISO 9001 2015 version. And the third most important, but I think no one knows about that, that's 9004 2018 version. So this talks about quality management, about the quality of organization, and it talks about the guidance to achieve the sustained success. And apart from that, there are many other standards which are related to that, like ISO 31000, which is talking about the risk management. Then there is another standard, ISO 19011, which is talking about internal auditing. And there is a whole series of 10,000, which is talking about many things with respect to outsourcing, customer satisfaction, corrective action, and there are so many things which all are related with ISO 9001 2015. And all these standards are being made by a committee called ISO TS 176. They are responsible for making all these standards. So now talking specifically with respect to these three key standards, ISO 9000, ISO 9002 and ISO 9004, that what are the key things which are specified there. So let's start with ISO 9000 2015. So primarily ISO 9000 2015 is talking with respect to the fundamental concept and the principles. There are 7 principles. It's talking about all those 7 principles of the quality management system here. And why it is important? To ensure the sustained success, to give the confidence to the customer, also to know that whether the supply chain is good or bad, to understand about the communication with the organization and the interested parties, sometimes also for the conformity assessment, that how things are, and also to understand the different standards. Now coming to second, ISO TS 9002 2016 version. So if you look into it, primarily it's talking about the guidance on the intent of the requirement of ISO 9001 2015 with examples of possible steps that an organization can take to meet the requirement. The most interesting thing to understand is that it does not add or subtract or in any way modify those requirements. Also, ISO TS 9002 does not prescribe mandatory approaches. It just gives a guideline about how we can effectively understand 9001. And just assume that if somebody has not gone through 9002 2016 version, how that organization can understand ISO 9001. And the third and the most important is ISO 9004 2018 version. So this particular standard is primarily a guideline for enhancing an organization's ability to achieve sustained success. We all know that these days we are talking about sustainable development. When we talk about sustainable development, it's not only about the environment. There are many things including that. That also includes the quality management system of any organization. So 9004 is talking about that, and it's also talking about an assessment tool which can help an organization to see their maturity with respect to the management system. Now another important thing is that once we are aware about these four standards, ISO 9000, 9001, ISO TS 9002 and ISO 9004, it's also important to understand that how they are helping the organizations, certification bodies and the consultant, because these are the three interested parties with respect to any certification. So let's start first with the customer, that what is important and why it is relevant for them, for the customer. So when we talk about customer, primarily the first thing is about understanding the terminologies which are given in 9000, also to understand the purpose why they are going for it, again specified in 9000, then to understand the objectives. All these things are specified in 9000. Then what are the different requirements of the standards? To understand that, it is specified in 9002, including the interpretation. And finally, how to ensure that there is a sustainable development, that is specified in 9004. Now talking about the consultants, that if a consultant is giving a consultancy to organization, how a consultant should understand that. So starting first with 9000, three key things: understanding the terminologies, to understand that how the organization can benefit from that, and to see the tangible and intangible benefits. And then certainly from ISO TS 9002 to understand the requirements and also how to interpret all those requirements. And finally 9004, how to guide the organizations to have a sustainable growth. And then finally certification bodies, the most important third parties, how they should interpret all these standards. So when we talk about 9000, almost similar, to understand about the terminologies, to discuss with top management about the purpose, why they are going for it, and what the organization is trying to achieve by implementing the system. When we talk about 9002, to understand the broader view of 9001 and also to understand the interpretation, which is equally required for the certification bodies also. And then certainly last 9004, to understand what are the different steps which are being taken by the organization for the sustainable development. So if I do a summary, primarily ISO 9015, which is the most popular standard in the globe, it's not alone, it's not isolated. There are many standards which are linked with it, and primarily I'm talking about the three: ISO 9000, 2015, which is talking about the terminologies, ISO TS 9002 2016, which is talking about how to interpret the standard, the guidance with respect to 9001, and then ISO 9004 2018, which is talking with respect to the sustainable growth for any organization. So next video will be in the series, and that I am talking about ISO 9000 2015 and how it is supporting ISO 9001 2015 version. Regularly, I am getting a lot of feedback from your side that are helping me to understand your expectation. So I am looking forward for your feedback. In case you want to understand a little bit more about this particular video, you'll find a link below. If you click that, you'll find a blog there. There you find this information in much more detail. And in case you're liking these kind of videos and blogs, you can always share with your friends and colleagues, and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and my website bhavyamangla.com. Thank you.